But I'm just going to get started on putting on my moisturizer now. I'm going to take off my glasses. My hair's still wet. I just went ahead and just tucked it back so it wouldn't be in the way. So I'm going to use the Garnier Nutritioniste Moisture Rescue Lightweight UV Lotion. This has an SPF of 15. It's very lightweight. I like to use this in the winter because I find that it is very moisturizing, and I don't think that it gives my skin like a weird oily sheen or anything. So I'm just going to pump like a dot, not a lot, which I didn't mean to rhyme, but about that much of this on the back of my hand, which is clean. I wash my hands. And I'm going to do the same thing with this Origins VitaZing SPF 15 Energy Boosting Moisturizer with Mangosteen. It's got a sheer tint release. I don't really know what that means. It's got little micro beads in it. Not micro beads, but little beads of color, so when you put it on, the color, I guess, gets dispersed. This is a tiny bit too dark for me, which is why I'm mixing it with the moisturizer just to lighten it up, and when I spread it all over my skin, it's going to just spread the color even more and not be quite so tinted. So if you're wanting to look more tan, this could probably help you if you have pale skin. If you do have medium skin, this will probably be pretty good on you. And it's very sheer, so I can't see somebody with medium skin having a problem with the tint in this. So I'm going to put about the same amount of this onto the back of my hand. So actually that's a lot. I didn't mean to put that much. That's okay, I'll just run it down my neck. But basically, I've got a little bit of both. I normally want about the same amount of each. And I'm just going to kind of like swirl it into each other. I'm not like mushing it around because I don't want the color to get dispersed. I'm just kind of like almost like folding it into each other. So now like it's pretty much the same amount. So I've got some on my finger. I'm going to put some on my chin, some on my cheek, as you see me do before, where I just basically put it on all four planes of my face. And I'm just going to go ahead and rub it in. I'll use a mirror. And I'll try to look down into it so you're not missing anything. Both of the moisturizers have a slight fragrance. The Moisture Rescue tends to have something, it smells really fresh and light, and I like to get it over my eyebrows too. My brow bone too. But yeah, it's got like kind of like a fresh scent to it. It's not overpowering at all. It's kind of how I imagined it would smell. And then because it is like that moisture lock, whatever, it has that moisture lock technology. And then the Origins VitaZing has kind of like it kind of does smell like a botanical something. Like I can tell it's derived from some type of plant, and it's not just like a fragrance they put it in there to please everybody. Although that may have been the case too, kind of. But I'm just gonna make sure that's like evenly around the hairline. Okay, and on my neck, I typically use a different moisturizer. I'll do that in a moment. So I'm just going to wipe off all the excess here. And then I'm going to go in with a concealer. This is the Perfect Match Skin Tone Adapting Concealer by Rimmel London. This is in the lightest shade, 125 Fair. Anyhow, but when I first bought this, I bought the color 230, which is like the second to lightest. So this one's called Fair. I think the other one's just called Light. And that one was too dark for my skin. And when I bought this one, I was like, oh great, now that's too light for my skin. But I don't know if it oxidizes or what type of technology they use, but they definitely have something in this that does kind of try to match your skin tone. So I use this on my blemishes and around my nose where I have some redness. So I'm just going to go ahead and, again, I put this on the back of my hand because I don't want to put this straight on my face in case there's bacteria, and I know the back of my hand is clean. I don't need it a lot because this is pretty smoothable, and I can always come back and pick up more rather than just using a ton. I've had this for I don't know how many months now, but so far I've got a ton of product left, so it's been a good value. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just dot my finger in it slightly, just the tiniest bit, and then just dot this into any blemishes that I might have. You might find this kind of boring. So I have one kind of up here from an old, just acne, or not acne, but blemish. and it's just hyperpigmentation left over. It's not an active breakout. But I haven't noticed that this made me break out at all. I think it's pretty nice. And it's pretty affordable. So I'm just going to put this around my nose. Because, like I said, I tend to have some redness around my nostrils. Apparently a lot of women do, but it's kind of annoying. Okay, so then I have some, like, hyperpigmentation on this side. These aren't active breakouts. They're old breakouts that are just left over. So I'm going to go ahead and try to cover that up. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Actually, I can't really. Here we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and dot that on. I dot it on straight onto the blemish itself, and then I try to like pat it in and then smooth out the edges around the blemish. Because it's so creamy, it's not going to accentuate any flakiness that you have. If you do have flakiness, just take a tweezer or something, and I know this sounds kind of gross, but like kind of like peel off the whatever flakiness is around the blemish itself. And that should help you with that scenario. Now that I've got all of that on, normally I try to take a look in the mirror and see if I've got any unevenness around my neck, so I'm going to have to wear my glasses because I can't see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to take a look and make sure it's all even. Luckily I have some natural light coming in so I can really tell. And I'll face the natural light and hold the mirror up and kind of take a look. I can see that I've got a little bit, not discoloration, but it's a little bit not the same color. I'm not really too worried about it because my uniform has like a polo collar, and nobody really cares at work. And to be perfectly honest, I don't. I'm going to be working a night shift, so I don't really care. So this is supposed to basically last me over 12 hours because I work 12-hour shifts. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this. Normally I put on eye makeup first. You know what? Maybe I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to stop the video, put on some eye makeup, and come back. And actually somebody requested that I put on orange blush just to demonstrate how it looks, so I'm going to do that too, but just hang on. Okay, so now that I've got my eye makeup on, I'm going to go ahead and actually try to cancel out some of the darkness that I have under my eyes. I'm going to use Garnier's Nutritioniste Skin Renew Anti-Dark Circle Roller. This is actually a pretty good color for me. It is tinted, so I don't know how many people this actually is going to help. If you do have darker skin, this, I mean, in terms of being medium to maybe even olive tone, this may lighten up under there, so that brightening effect may help you. I'm just not sure how well this applies to different skin tones and different skin colors. So I'm just going to go ahead and actually roll it straight onto my eyeball. I used to put this on the back of my hand, but I don't really find that I have a problem with this. It hasn't really caused any trouble or anything under my eyes. So I'm just going to go ahead and smooth it out. And I just kind of like pat it in and like under. I used to go all the way over here, but I don't really care about that anymore. I just want to concentrate it on the darkness that I have going on over here. I've already put some type of powder or highlighter in the corner, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. On days when I'm not wearing makeup or eye makeup, I'll go ahead and put that in the inner corner, but because I do have some type of blue-purple tint under my skin there, but I'm not really too worried. So I'm just like lightly patting very gently, and it's pretty much blended now. If you're really worried about it, you can just like lightly pat right here where it transitions into your tinted moisturizer. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply some powder. And so sometimes I'll use the Laura Geller Balance-N-Brighten foundation in Fair. Because this is an actual powder foundation, I go very, very light-handed with this. And I try to concentrate mostly on the T-zone and then spread it out from there. I'm going to be using the Sephora from the IT collection, Precise Natural Powder brush. This is number 121. I've done a haul video featuring this. So I'm only getting that much, maybe not even. I'll probably try to pat that off on the side. But and then I just try to get like up onto my forehead and down my nose. Because this is, like I said, a very heavy foundation. Actually, it got this in Fair. I don't know what color this is. Yeah, in Fair. And it's still kind of like too dark for me. And I try to get across my nose because I tend to have some oiliness there as well. And definitely around my nostrils because we put concealer there. And I want to make sure that's nice and set. So my skin is still kind of dewy looking, which I like. I like that effect and I want it to stay like that. I just want to make sure that it doesn't get shinier past this, and this powder is pretty good for that. So I like to get down my chin kind of, and now I'm just going to kind of spread out whatever is left out into my cheeks and down my temples. Okay, and then I try to get this down kind of my neck. Okay, so that's done. So if you want to see my eye makeup routine that I just did just now, I didn't do anything crazy or intense. What did I do? I just used the Maybelline Color Eye Tattoo 24-hour eyeshadow base, whatever it's called, in Badge of the Bronze, and then in kind of like my, right on my brow bone area, kind of like the bottom part of it, just to make it look kind of warmed up. I went ahead and I used this shade, that shade right there. This is from the Project Runway Limited Edition L'Oreal Paris collection. This is the Charming Cockatoo's Gaze. I tried to get another one of this because I love it so much. And they have a blush actually that I really like that I can't find right now. So my hair is still very, very wet and I have to go ahead and quickly blow dry it or something. Actually I don't really care. So yeah, that's that. I used that, and then I used Wet n Wild's palette somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, it's right here. I used Wet n Wild's palette. I used, let's see, this is the I Love Matte. So I used these two colors together underneath the brow, underneath my eyebrow, between all that. And then I used this in my inner corner just to highlight, because I didn't want it to look all shimmery since I have a shimmery lash line, a shimmery eyelid. Then on my lash line I used Carbon Black by Infallible L'Oreal, whatever, 16 hour. I really love this. I think this is a phenomenal, phenomenal eyeliner. And then I used this brush, this little tiny smudge brush from that 5-piece brush kit by Sonia Kashuk that I gave away a little while ago. And I think that's all I did. I didn't do anything else. Yeah, oh, and my mascara, of course, mascara. What did I do with it? I used the Prestige My Biggest Lashes Big Lash Effect Mascara. This is in the color Black Brown, so I really like this when I'm trying to not be so obvious. But my Blackest Lashes by them, amazing. So both of these I really like. This one, the brush is a little, it really has a lot of product on the brush, so once it after you've used it for about a month, half a month to a month, it starts to not gain so much not have so much product on the brush, which is kind of nice because then you can kind of make sure your lashes aren't clumping, but it's a very wet mascara. So yeah, so that's all of that. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.